Hey, what's up everybody? This is DJ Thielen, CEO of Fortune Foreclosures and founder of Flipping on Demand. And I wanted to take a minute while I'm driving down this beautiful Highway 1 from Santa Monica to Malibu, California, and shoot a short video on exactly how I came up with this flipping hack that is just absolutely going berserk in the industry right now, as far as how you can flip and wholesale properties, make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and have all your profit up front. So I've successfully now, it's 2019, I've successfully done over 3,000 of these transactions since 2005 when I got into the business. So let me share with all of you how this came about and exactly how this works, and how at the end here, if you're interested, you could get in touch with me personally, speak to me personally about how we can assist and show you how to do this yourself. So back in, thankfully, I was raised by a single mom, no dad in the picture. Maybe some of you guys can relate to that, and gals, and in Portland, Oregon. And I always was intrigued by real estate, but I grew up, the single mom, no dad, had massive ADD, had some abuse, and just was very poor financially, very poor. And because of that, I was just felt like back in the 70s, 80s, you grew up with those things against you, man, you didn't have much of a chance making it in this world. And fortunately, I was blessed with some athletic ability, which ended up getting me to the point of being able to get out of that situation. So in 1991, I was a San Francisco Giants 6th pick. Ended up signing with them to play professional baseball. Did that for a handful of years. And in 1995, it was one of our top prospects, just breaking through into the major leagues and on the verge. And I had a son that was born unplanned, like most kids, right? And because I grew up without a dad, I always said, when I have a son, I want to be there. I want to be there for my kid, because my dad wasn't. So what happened was, I decided, he was born, had some breathing issues. I decided that I was going to take a year off and take care of my son and then go back to baseball. Well, life peeled a different path for me. I didn't end up going back to baseball. Instead, I found myself working really in my mid-20s, just trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be, and really reinvent myself, because to that point, all that I had known was baseball. All I had known was, that I want to be a professional baseball player, get to the big leagues, and retire my mom. That was basically all that there was. So with that said, life peels a different path, and I start figuring things out. In 2000, start working. In 2005, I sell a company, have a chunk of money. I sold a company for about $500,000, a little more. Had a chunk of money, and I knew that I wanted to get into real estate. So what did I do? I went to a Robert Kiyosaki event, and from that event, it was, the weekend, actually, I went to a free event that led to a weekend one. And at that weekend one, that was $4,000, by the way. From that event, that was it. It was, I saw the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki talks about, how we make money in 4 ways. The E for employee, trading time for money, never creates wealth. The S for self-employed, and paying huge taxes as an employee, by the way, about 40%. The self-employed paid about 50 to 60% taxes, which was insane. Made more money, but paid more in taxes, and was still trading your time for money, but at a higher level. And then there was the B for business owner, which was building a business and having it run for you without your efforts, or very little of your efforts. And then the I for investor, where your money's invested and it's working for you. And just like Warren Buffett, the big investor, says, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. And that really stuck with me, I heard that many years ago and it really stuck with me. And I said, gosh, I have to get into this B quadrant and this I quadrant. There's no other way, right? So basically I go to this real estate event, paid $4,000, and they try selling you all this stuff that you don't need, as you guys might, be able to relate to. And so once I came away from that, I had this big, thick book. And, I knew, like, for me, I hated school, by the way. I was a D student, didn't like school, probably because I had massive ADD and I just wanted to go out and play sports, but I didn't like school. And so for me, growing up and into my young adulthood, I learned how to do everything by doing it. I learned how to hit a baseball by getting in there and practicing and just figuring it out. I learned how to build a business by getting in there and practicing and figuring it out and just being consistent, right? So I knew I could do this real estate deal if I just got in and figured it out and was consistent, just like I had done in baseball, just like I had done in building my business, a security company, and selling it. So I knew that I could do it and take the same approach. And I didn't have a mentor. I wish to God that I had a mentor that said, man, DJ, if you could do this, if you could just jump in and do things this way, it would have saved me so much trial and error. And even though I've had a lot of success, it would have gotten me there a lot faster. So with that said, I go to this event, I come away with the big, thick book, right? All this info. And I basically put it in a garage, honest to God. Didn't go through it at all after the weekend event. And I went on eBay and I bought 10 homes for $50,000. So I bought 10 homes for $50,000. And once I did, total, okay? So if you guys can add, that's $5,000, is that right? That's $5,000 per house. So I'm thinking, man, I can't lose, right? So little did I know that when I flew out there and I saw these homes that were in Ohio and Pennsylvania, the first house I went to was torn down. There was no house there. Second house I go to was completely falling over. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't already falling, like it didn't fall. And, I was told, oh yeah, DJ, these houses just need carpet and paint. You can rent them out. So was calling this guy, no answer. I was pissed, right? So if you guys that was my first investment experience. So don't feel bad if you had one, because mine was pretty bad. So from that though, it led me to this area, this region of the country that I realized that I could buy a lot more for my money, right? And I could buy these houses for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 that were in nice neighborhoods, and I could put a little in and I could rent them and create cash flow. So in 2005, this is what I started doing. And by the end of 2005, 2006, I had 24 rental properties that were producing cash flow, paying me each month. And I had friends and family that heard about what I was doing. So they came to me and said, hey, DJ, I would love it if you could show me how to buy these homes, man. You got to get me in on this. I can't believe these price points you're buying stuff at. And I said, listen, the only way that I'll do this with you or for you is if you allow me to handle everything. So I'll get you the property, I'll get your utilities on for you, I'll get you an insurance binder, I'll handle the fix up if it needs any, which there's a lot of homes that don't, which I'll get into. And so that was it, right? So one of my friends, Terry, says, DJ, how much can I get these properties for? And I said, hey, Terry, I can get these to you for an average anywhere between $30,000 and $60,000, free and clear, in nice neighborhoods, and I'll handle everything for you. And he goes, dude, are you serious? I said, yeah, of course, it's what I've been doing. He goes, man, put me down for 10 right now, get me 10 of them. So I was like, awesome. Okay, and what happened was, at the time, I had spent about 90% of my cash buying my own property. So yes, I had cash flow coming in, but as far as cash, my liquidity was low. Okay, let's put it that way. So at the time, you guys, this is the crazy thing, right? All you wholesalers, if you're wholesaling out there, are told, oh, you got to go get private parties, and you got to do mailers, and you got to do bandit signs, and you got to find private owners. Listen, I would say 80%, about 75, 80% of the deals I've done and the properties that I got were actually bank deals that were right on the market, HUD, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So I wasn't like getting, and still to this day do, okay? So you don't have to, if you've been told you have to get private deals, it's bullshit. You don't have to get private deals, and I proved that and continue to prove it, and have Academy members proving it every day. So at the time, I was buying them bank deals, and which we'll show you how to do, so you don't have to battle all these other wholesalers. And what happened was, I knew one thing. I knew that if I offered in my name, Fortune Foreclosures, or whatever one of my companies I was buying it in, if I made an offer and the bank accepted my offer, I had to close in that name, right? I couldn't assign the deal, which is why wholesalers don't go for bank deals, but there's a way around it. I couldn't assign it. I couldn't sell the LLC. You can't do anything like that because the bank will cancel the deal and not let you buy it and relist it. So I started thinking like, man, how can I do this, right? I'm leveraged out on cash. How can I do this, not use my own money, make my money up front, and not have it be shady or dishonest or illegal, obviously, without wholesaling and without flipping, right? So my mind kicks into this gear that I've had all my life. And those of you that know me and know my story, at 10 years old, my son calls me the king of life hacks. At 10 years old, I learned how to play video games with pennies. At 11 years old, I was playing video games with pennies and straws, selling so many credits to my friends for 10 cents instead of 25 cents. So I was buying baseball cards in the penny box, selling them for $1 or $2, right? So I always had this, because I grew up very poor, it was a blessing, and I always had this ability to think outside the box if I wanted to achieve or get something. Let me straighten this out here. So, fast forward to this point I'm at in my life, okay? Let me adjust this here. So, what happened is, I start thinking, how can I do this? So, my buddy Terry, the next day, he wanted properties. The next day, I get this property in Pennsylvania in a nice neighborhood under contract for $15,000. I put $500 hand money down. So I want you guys to follow me on this, because this is exactly how you can make $20,000 to $40,000, have all your profit up front, and do deals over and over and over, and do multiple months and scale it. So what I did was, I got this property under contract in Pennsylvania, brick ranch, nice neighborhood, $15,000. Okay, $15,000 I was buying it for. And I called Terry the next day. So I put $500 hand money down, put it under contract, have it secured. I called Terry and I said, hey, Terry, I think I got your first deal, man. He goes, DJ, awesome, man. Tell me about it. So I told him, hey, here's the deal. It's a brick ranch. It's a nice area. 3-bed, 1-bath, has a garage. It'll rent for $700 a month. Your cost all in, purchase price, fix up, renovations, everything is $50,000. It'll be worth $60,000 to $70,000, and it will rent for $700 a month. So you have a little equity, and you'll make some good money as a cash flow. He goes, DJ, this is I can't even believe this, dude. Send me the agreements. I'll sign them. I'll wire you the money wherever you need it, and let's do this. I got to run. I'll talk to you later. So here's the thing, you guys. I sent him the agreements, of course, and he didn't even ask for pictures, right? So now at this point, I had tried to do an assignment, didn't really understand it before this. I'd done a conventional flip, my very first flip that I did in 2005. I lost $15,000. Plus it was 5-6 months later. It was just a mess, right? Like the payday was way out there. Even on wholesaling, the payday's usually 3-4 weeks out, deals fall apart and all this. So I sent Terry the agreements, and I picked something up that he said. I said, wow, he said he would wire me the money wherever I wanted. So at the bottom, I put the wiring instructions to my LLC, right? So, hey, I'm handling all this for you. I'm gonna have you wire the money to me and my LLC. So I sent him the agreements. He wires the $50,000 to my LLC. So now that day, I just put the contract, follow me on this. I just put the contract under property the day before, had $500 down. I sold it the next day to Terry. Terry signs agreements, purchasing it from me, wires me $50,000. So now I've sold this property before I've actually even bought it. I have it under contract, and I have $500 out, $50,000 in. But here's the best part, you guys. I start penciling this deal out, okay? I start penciling this out to where I'm like, okay, I'm buying it for $15,000. I ended up putting $7,000 in, so 15 and 7 is 22. I paid $4,000 in closing costs because I paid all the closing costs, okay? Transfer tax, title insurance. Don't worry about that. So I was basically into this property for $26,000. And so the difference between $26,000, what I was going to be into it, and $50,000, what he wired me already, was $24,000. So I'm netting $24,000, and I had all my money in less than 2 days from the day that I put the property under contract. So at the time, what happened was I didn't have the ability to really understand the mindset of the abundance. So what happened was I ended up more or less going through and saying, okay, it's got to be too good to be true. I got to be missing something, right? And what happened was I said, well, let me go through this and make sure that the wheels don't come off and I'm not missing anything. So I end up going through this deal. Everything goes perfect, which doesn't always happen, by the way. And from that, it was just, from there, it was just like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe this. Let me start doing my deals this way. So in 2006, you guys, in January, I start doing my deals in this manner, getting out-of-state properties for out-of-state investors and helping them with everything, because doing something for them that they couldn't do on their own, right? So there was a ton of value. So when you have a ton of value for your clients, you can make whatever you can make. You have a lot more value. More value equals more money, right? So if all you're doing is wholesaling a property or getting someone a deal, there's a little value, but not like a ton of value. And so I realized that I had a ton of value. So I start doing my deals in this manner, getting low cost, low risk properties for out of state investors that they could hold for cash flow, flip, whatever. In 2006, I made just over $700,000. 2007, I made my first $1 million. I made $1.3 million, okay? Once I made $1.3 million in 2007, the end of 2007, the market crashed, right? So when the market crashed, flippers, wholesalers, anyone that was in that business at that time was in a lot of trouble. And they were really decimated, like wholesalers were crushed, flippers were just punished. And here's the crazy thing, right? Developers were out of business. So at the end of 2007, when the market crashed and corrected, everyone else that was in any kind of part of the business, which is happening again right now, by the way, was completely wiped away, tied away, gone. In 2008, here's the crazy part, you guys. In 2008, I made more than 2007. 2009, I made more than 2008. 2010, I made more than 2009. My business kept growing in an economy that everyone else that was flipping and wholesaling, doing this stuff, was completely washed away and decimated. So it was unbelievable. So I realized at that time that I had a very, very unique niche that was market resistant. It didn't matter if the market was down. I could do this and make a lot of money and help people, by the way. When the market was up and market cranking and doing good, I could do this, help people make a lot of money. So it wasn't dependent on the market. So at the same time, I'm traveling, speaking at a lot of real estate events. That led to motivational and inspirational events, of course, as you guys know, that know me and see me speak and all that. And so I was hearing from these people that I would go to speak at these events, these real estate events, and I would hear these people that, you know, spent 50 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand, even 30 grand. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Right? They were struggling, okay? And they were all doing the same thing. Postcards, mailers, bandit signs, all these. And it blew me away, right? And people would say, well, DJ, what do you do? Inevitably, I'd open it up for Q&A. And I'd say, well, I flip homes, make 20 to 40 grand a deal, have all my money up front, and don't use my own money. And they'd be like, what? Say that again, man. I don't think I heard you right? And so what happened was, this just became, like, I realized very quickly, like, holy crap, man, nobody, like, I created this, and nobody is teaching this. So I was always nervous to show someone how to have someone wire them $50,000 or $100,000, because if they didn't follow through and close on the deal and ran off with the money and I was attached to it, I wasn't going to get in trouble, right? So I never did. About a year and a half ago, I had a friend that passed away and died. His wife came to me and said, DJ, very distraught, right? We're going to lose everything. I'm going to lose the house, the kids. I don't care what I have to do. You're the only one that I can come to that can show me how to make large chunks of money legally. And I know you've never shown this to people and you're very guarded against it, but would you please do this for me? I'll do whatever. I'll put you on my house. I said, listen, Sue, let me help you. So I took her in, you guys, under my wing, and I knew all the landmines, right? So I removed all the landmines for her and I said, listen, I'm going to help you, but I'm going to allow you access to my team. I'm going to create a co-branded website, like all the things you need. The credibility website, done, we'll do for you. The partnership, like you can use my sales team to help you sell your deals. You can use my acquisitions team to help you get deals. I'll teach you how to do everything A to Z. But as you're learning, use my team and partner with us. So basically, I created what's called like a brand partnership. Took her under my wing, you guys, in 90 days, in 3 months. Now, this is someone that never made more than 60 grand a year. In 3 months, made over $120,000. Completely changed her life. And that was the day when she took me to dinner and looked me in my eye and was happier than she'd ever been in her life. That was a good friend of mine, by the way. And her husband was a great friend of mine. When I saw how it could impact someone that was close to me like that and change their life quickly, that was the day that I decided to create Flipping on Demand and show people exactly how they could do what I had done for many years. So created Flipping on Demand, starting to show people this strategy that no one's teaching, by the way, in the world, by the way, still to this day, by the way. And I created Flipping on Demand and started allowing people that were the right fit, allowing people to work with myself and my team hand in hand, and literally showing them exactly what I did for Sue. And it's just been, you know, you guys, it's been an absolute crazy thing that's happened. We've had, you know, dozens of people that have had their lives changed. We've had dozens of people that, I'm gonna just pull over here real quick, you guys. We've had dozens of people that have changed their life forever, that have changed their family, like literally their generational like tree forever, because they came in, they took a leap of faith, said, listen, what I'm doing, DJ, hasn't been working. I'm having trouble connect the dots. How can I work with you? How can I work with your team where you guys can help show me exactly how to do what you've done for the last, you know, 14 years, 14 years. And you're helping, you know, where you can help me connect the dots and go fast instead of slow. You know, John Maxwell says, he's got a saying, fast forward, right? Fast is faster, forward is shorter. So the question is, after watching this, is, are you somebody that wants to fast forward? Are you somebody that wants to go fast, shorter, or are you someone that wants to try to continue figure it out on yourself? Listen, doesn't matter to me either way, but if you'd like to talk to me, if this is something that resonates with you and you're saying, man, DJ, I would love to talk to you personally. I would love to hear exactly in more detail how this works and how I can start doing this right now, starting today. Then I want you to get in touch with me. Maybe you're connected with me on Facebook. Maybe you know me personally and you have my cell number and you can text me or you can direct message me back on Facebook. Whatever the case is, reach back to me and let me know that you're serious and that you're interested in talking. And I'll look forward to sharing with you exactly how we can help you do this. Have an awesome day, everyone. Signing off from Malibu, this is DJ. Have a great day. Bye.